Well, hello. Check out that snow out there. All right, I'm about to talk to you about some pretty cool stuff. So we love history, like love history in this house. So I have a ton of history curriculum, both secular and Christian. I'm going to show you my favorite secular and my favorite Christian because I use them both. But first, the project of the day, and I can't believe I found it. I was at the library yesterday and I found it, and I cannot believe it. I wish I had known a long time ago that it existed. This is the 20th Century Children's Book Treasury. Now check it out. Check it out. I'm telling you, it's got like every amazing book from Madeline to Chicka Chicka to, oh my gosh, it's got even Harry the Dirty Dog. It's got Amelia Bedelia. I'm telling you, it just has like any amazing book you think that you should read to your children is in this. So again, it's the 20th Century Children's Book Treasury. Maybe you can only get it used. I don't know. But gosh, I wish I had it. It would save me so much money and time. But look at this, Madeline. So this is how it does some of it. Is some of them, the pictures are smaller so that it can fit it all in, which does not detract from it. So we got Madeline. And then after that, we got Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. And after that, we got one I had never even heard of. There's who's that little monkey? Curious George is in here. This is Swimmy. So it's got it has like Mike Mulligan and a steam shovel. I mean, it has... I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, if you get one children's book that make way for ducklings. I mean, a lot of these are used in literacy programs. Guess How Much I Love You, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Bad, Very Good Day. That was my favorite book as a child. And these books can be read. I mean, you don't need to be 4 and 5 years old to read these books. In fact, I think they're more appreciated around the, I want to say like the 7-year age range, but that's just me. Okay. Without further ado, the best Christian and secular history curriculums. Again, I use both. So this is History for Little Pilgrims, Christian Liberty Press. Now, I skipped the first part of it because that's what I tend to do. If they talk about like where the world comes from or the start of the world based on the Bible, I skip that and I go right to history. That's just a personal preference. I go right to whatever you want to call it. Go ahead. But that's, so I started the church spreads kind of thing. And it goes through and it talks about how they came to America, why they came to America. And it's very, a new world is found. It's very interesting. It's very Christian, it discusses God a lot in here. So you can't read it if you are secular. I would not, I mean, you can, but I would not recommend it. Talks about George Washington. It talks about the 13 states and the Louisiana Purchase. And anyway, I just think it's a very interesting, it's very interesting. My 7-year-old especially really enjoys it. So History of Little Pilgrims. Now to go along with that, if you're talking about growing up in early America, I would get this one. It costs you about $20 if you want it new. 2F by Abeka. This again is Christian. So let's check this out. It's just great stories that you can read about Benjamin Franklin's colorful experiment. This is how he found out that black attracts more sun it will heat up faster because he put them all in snow. So anyway, it has a lot of the same people that are in there, but again, it's just reinforcing. But look at this. So when you start this, you meet a Native American and a pioneer. They meet and what life is like for them. That's the Native American that you meet, and you follow his story for a bit. And then he meets this pilgrim. And so, I guess not pioneer, pilgrim. And so anyway, very interesting stories. I love almost all the Abeka line. The first year of books I don't like. They're all labeled so you know which year they're supposed to be read in, or ideally read in. Because if you follow the Abeka program, you should be reading these books. I do them as read alouds because I do not follow the Abeka program. It's just a little too intensive. I don't do it. On to, don't worry, I got more cool stuff. So almost to the secular stuff, but first let's talk about Biblo Plan. I love it. Now, as always, I skip the story of creation in the Bible and I go right to like the ancient era. Okay, that's what I do. Don't judge me, or judge me kindly. Be kindly. So I skip like the creation, the Garden of Eden. I skip all that stuff and I go right to history or archaeology. Very interesting. This is a very interesting, very well told, if you ask me, story. Very, again, entertaining. It's Remember the Days. So this is book 1, Ancient Days. You don't need the whole Biblo Plan. Like, you don't need it. You could just sit there and read through this day after day. And then, so it's got, so it has the ancient days and it's got medieval. And then same with the secular curriculum I'm going to show you. So you can, of course, read this again. So you read it one year, and then the next year you cover medieval, and then you repeat. So whatever your kids missed the first time, they will pick up again. But let's talk about this. This is from Biblo Plan. Every section has it. So ancient days, medieval times, they all have this. But it's obviously not called, like this one's ancient history, but it's learning through crafts, food, and fun. This is cool. Whether you are secular or Christian, I would consider getting this because look at it. So when you're studying the ancient weeks, it's all, you can follow like week 24, week 22. You do not have to. But it's basically like, okay, let's talk about what they ate in Egypt, what they did, you know, different paintings that they did. So it has all different crafts and food and just different cool things. You can also get, if you have a middle schooler, they have a middle school map book that would go along with this, which I have, which I forgot to bring down to show you, but I got the map book as well. I mean, I got the whole thing, but what you don't need is you don't need the whole thing. You can get ancient days, and then I got the maps because maps are cool, right? Who doesn't think maps are cool? I don't know. I think maps are super cool. There you go. And so again, just, oh, what is this? How to say hello? I don't know. It might be. They just have a lot of cool things in here. Different art. Make a Gilgamesh relief. So make a backgammon board. Play backgammon. So it has a lot of cool things. Now let's talk about secular. This is fantastic. This is great. I alternate between all these. So these I have not started yet. I'm going through this right now. And this. I'm taking a break from this just to start on this. But so this is secular. Now look at this. This is very interesting. What I love about this is you can read it during breakfast or whenever. So this just deals with religion as it comes up. So someone can read Ted and someone can read Mona. Mona's is very long. Ted's very short. And basically it's all about questions he has for Mona. So if you were to read the Golden Age and the Plague, it would be, watch, you'd sit down with your kids. If your kids do not have, like, they have a short attention span, I mean, usually they're not this long. At least not in the other book I have. Where is it? Usually they're only about 3 pages. So Clovis becomes Catholic. So usually they're about, I wish I brought you the ancient one, because that's the one I read. I haven't read this one yet. But at least in the ancient book, they're like 3 pages, but maybe because this is one level up. You can, again, so this is just snapshot of medieval history, and then I guess they have a book list of picture books that go along with it. So that's the only thing I wish, is this has a lot of pictures and stories. This doesn't have as many stories. I mean, they do. They have like actual stories as they occurred. But it doesn't deal, it's just snapshots because kids can't remember everything, right? Like you're not going to remember, hey, in 1930, this happened. Anyway, I just think it's very interesting. And if you want to know more, at the end of every chapter, it's like, want to know more, you can go there and do that. Whereas at the end of this, for example, every chapter has questions you can do, like a review if you wanted to, but you do not have to. But this, so again, I'm sorry. I wish I had shown you the ancient one, because that one I'm reading, like I've gone, it's very interesting, and every chapter is like 3 pages. Not that you have to finish a whole thing. But Introduction to Medieval History. See, 2 pages. So you read the 2 pages and then you're like, okay, tomorrow we'll read more. Whatever. But it does have some pictures, and it has the most interesting stories from that time. And again, I have a ton more history stuff. Like my favorite is the comic book histories. I love those. They're different things, but I've showed them in other videos. Anyway, there you go. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something. I hope you gleaned something. Bye-bye.
Please like and subscribe.
Yes.
And hit the bell for notifications.